So after making the wrappers or the skin, we're going to proceed to making the money bag. So you go ahead, pick up one of the wrappers. Now here I'm making use of the samosa filling. You can also add more proteins or more chunks of meat or chunks of fish to your own. Now money bag is usually bigger than samosa. Like the filling you add inside is usually bigger than the one you add in samosa. So that when you grab the wrapper together, it's going to give a big puffy look, bigger than what we have for samosa. This is what we are trying to achieve. So if you want it bigger, you can still add more, but for it to cook well, just use like this. So I got the spring onions from my garden, like you guys saw I showed you previously. Now just go ahead with one of the spring onions and then go around it to tie. Please be careful so you don't tie it too tight and then it will cut up or cut open. Exactly on where the intersection happened, they're going to go in with a toothpick, pass it through like you just saw I did in the video, and that will help you secure your filling or help you secure your money bag. Go in with your pair of scissors and then cut out where you feel you have excess spring roll, and also trim the wrapper so that it can have a defined look and also a defined shape. So just go ahead and set this aside and also repeat the process again. So this is the essence of making your samosa or your money bag or your spring roll wrapper filling. Sorry, the missing to be a bit thick like I showed you guys previously. So some people will complain it is too thick. Yes, if it's watery, it's going to tear up. That is the secret. So you make it to be thick so that it gives it consistency, it becomes strong and then stiff and don't tear. This is the best way to store your spring onions. Like I've had this in my fridge for over 2 weeks. Wrap in paper and then store in your fridge. This is another way of also wrapping your spring roll around it. You can also wrap 2 times, but please be careful so that yours will not cut, just like mine did in the video. Try not to exert so much effort or so much pressure on it. It's going to cut open or it's going to cut just like I have in the video. So when you are done, this is what you are going to have. You just go ahead and then fry this. It fries so fast, so don't just put it and walk away. It fries or cooks so fast. So once you just put this in the oil, just be close so that you can always turn around so that it fries on each side pretty well, very well. And then when you are done, you just scoop it out from the oil and then they are ready to consume. Please keep an eye on it. If not, it's going to get burnt or it's going to get soaked up, like soak so much oil and now become very oily. Now you can just see what I'm doing in the video. This is exactly how you would do yours. So just turn at interval and then you have this golden brown on all the sides. So see ya in my next one. The skin of money bag, the skin of samosa, spring roll are all made in this process. Now look at the indavoski samosa or wrappers for samosa bag. For samosa, sorry, spring roll money bag, I'll be teaching you guys. You see, after squeezing it, it is still the way it is. See, there was no tear at all, nothing to show that it was even squeezed, and it's still there. So I'm going to show you guys an amazing recipe that you can use any day, anytime to make this. This is going to be a comprehensive and a very detailed long class. I'll teach you guys how to make the skin, how to make money bags, how to make samosa, spring roll. Now stay glued, ensure you subscribe, like, share and drop a beautiful comment. You can also scroll down for more recipes. So remain glued, guys. So to make this, we need some corn flour and then we need some normal flour. Now please, emphasis on the ratio you mix your corn flour and your normal flour matter. So you're going to do a ratio of 1 to half or 2 to half. So for instance, if you're using a cup of flour, you should use half cup of corn flour. So that's the same way you just go ahead to increase. So just in case you want 2 cups of flour, you go in with 1 cup of corn flour. You want 4 cups of flour, you're going to go in with 2 cups of corn flour. Now some sugar, some salt, and then some vegetable oil. Into another bowl, you're going to make sure you extract everything and then combine everything together like you guys can see me do exactly in the video. Now go in with 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Yeah, please make sure you add this vegetable oil. It acts as a lubricant and also it acts as an emulsifier also for this recipe. Now I don't have an actual quantity or an actual measurement for water, but just watch out closely, guys, for the consistency that you will get. Please emphasis on add the water little at a time so that you can be able to know when you reach the peak or when you reach the required consistency. So guys, please do not forget to subscribe, like, share, and drop a beautiful comment. Help me get to my 1K subscribers, guys, please, I beg of you. So just subscribe. It is actually free to do that. Please just subscribe, click on the subscribe button, and also scroll down my channel. You're going to see amazing videos that you would also like. Now look at this consistency. This is the peak. This is actually what I want. Now please do not add more water, if not it's going to become runny and then it will start tearing up and down. Okay, you can see what I have now. Do not use your pan when it is hot. Your heat should be on low. Now you can see the pan is hot and you can see for yourself what is happening, right? The more I try to brush or apply the mixture on it, it pulls out. But now compared to when it is at the right temperature, so what I usually do is that I don't leave the pan directly on the fire. No, you can see it's being lifted, so I usually carry it up. Let it just be like the heat is coming to the pan from a distance until I am done applying my mixture or applying my batter on my pan. Then I'll then carefully let it sit on the heat source. Now emphasis on, please, your heat should be on low heat. It should be on low heat. If it's on high heat, it's going to dry out or cook out very fast, and then it will just start getting burnt or start getting crispy or start getting too firm on time, which will actually result or yield to read breaking more. Now you can see how I went around with my finger. Once you start seeing the edges are kind of dry, you just know that it is done. So if you can go in with your finger, you will. Then if you can also go in with a spoon just to lift the edge and then you peel it out. Now this is the importance of non-stick frying pan. So if you don't have one, please just invest in one. I think I got this 3 or 4 years ago. Now you can see I've actually lifted the pan up again, and you can see for yourself it is hot. So from a distance, just carry your frying pan up, and then little at a time, just still brush over the surface of your frying pan little at a time until you cover the surface. Now if you want a bigger pan or a bigger frying pan, you can also invest in one, but I actually love using this because this will just give me 1 spring roll, and then when I cut into 2, this will give me 2 samosa. So that's exactly the size that I want. So if you feel this one is smaller for you, you can also invest in a bigger one, but for me this is my choice. Now you can see I'm repeating the process again. Now I have sat it over the heat for it to cook up. Now you can see the way I'm wrapping it, right? And it's not even breaking, it's not even cracking. So that is it. Once you have the right consistency, or once your batter is in the right consistency, it will never crack, it will never break, it will still be very firm. So you can see that for yourself, right? So this one is already cooked, and then I take it out. Now if you have so much to do, just have a kitchen napkin at the side you will use to cover them up, because if you leave them open, they're going to dry out so fast. So just cover them up and then you are good to go. I think I made like 20 or 10 pieces for a client because I had some work to do. Now you can see for yourself. I just folded it and it is still the way it is. So that is to show you that once you have the right consistency and once you are using the right ingredients, you're going to get the right result. So I'm glad you guys saw this for yourself. So please subscribe for more. The next on the list is to make this very delicious samosa filling. We can also use to fill our money bag. So into your saucepan, you're just going to go ahead and drizzle some oil, and then go in with your chopped onions or your ground onions, depending on the one you want to use. Stir this together just like you can see me do in the video, and then go in with your beef. Here I just added some water to my beef and then used my blender to blend this. If you have a food processor, guys, just feel free to also use your food processor for that. So like I said, this is actually an A to Z of small chops making, where I taught you guys how to make spring rolls, samosa, money bag, and MOSA, and also puff puff. So I listed everything that I added now on my screen. Added some water. Now I'm going in with some spring onions, then some carrots, and then stir this together, and voila, your samosa and money bag filling is ready. Now to wrap the samosa, I've already showed you guys how to make the wrapper previously. A piece like this, or just one round of it, is going to give me 2 samosas. I'm going to go ahead and then use my pizza cutter, or you can use a knife just in case you don't have a pizza cutter, to cut this into 2 equal halves. Even if it's not 2 equal halves, I just cut it into 2 and then fold, just like you can see me do in the video. I've seen some people just use it one like this, or they can also cut it straight just to have straight strips. But this is the method that I use, and it has worked perfectly for me all this while. So just cut this like you can see. So just in case you have not subscribed, guys, please subscribe. Do not forget to like, share, and drop a beautiful comment. Now to make this, please, if you want it to really come out well and then you don't want your filling oozing out, make sure you take your time to form this cone very well. You saw how I flexed it, guys. So just flex your own like that. Apply some of the mixture, that's flour and water mixture, to serve as your sealant. You flip the other part together and then you just formed this cone. Ensure that the tip is sealed very well. This is what you will have, and then you go ahead to open the pocket and then fill in with your filling. Now there are some samosas that you will see and they'll be pretty small. This is as the result of the quantity of filling added. So if you want yours to just look bigger or smaller, that depends on you. So add your filling based on what you want the size to look like. Go in with your pastry brush or with anything that you are using. Apply some of the mixture inside the cone, then apply the mixture just like you can also see me do in the video to do the final sealing. So just flip this over, flip it over like you can see me do. So when you flip it, it's just going to help you and get it secured. So you can decide to just leave it like this, or you can decide to apply more sealants to it and then flex over, so that all the leak outs or all the other sheets coming out will stick pretty well on the body of the samosa. So this is what we'll have, right, guys? So I'm just going to go ahead with my pizza cutter and then trim out this excess that I have, or you can still just apply more sealant and then seal it, and here you go. So just go ahead until you get all the numbers that you want. So next on my list is just to go ahead and then fry this into oil that has been preheated. So pop this into oil that has been preheated, and then you have this. Please keep an eye on it because it burns so fast. Don't just start frying and then you walk away. Please just keep an eye on it so it doesn't come out as burnt or free. So you do this until you exhaust everything that you have. Now next on my list is that we'll go ahead to make a very delicious spring roll filling. From the picture you can see how it looks like. So I'm using the exact pot that I used for my samosa filling, drizzled in some oil, went in with some onions, and then added my curry and mixed spices. Now just stir this together, guys. Go in with your cabbage. You don't want it to be so soggy or too soft, so just stir this together for a while and then you are good to go. So after which you're just going to go ahead and add some spring onions and then stir this together. If there are other veggies you want to add, so just feel free to just add this to your mixture too. I went in with some water and then stirred this together. Now I'm going in with some carrots like you can see me do in the video, and then stir this together. Now I'm going to show you guys one of my secret ingredients that makes my samosa filling so delicious. So just in case you have never added this before, just try it out guys, you are going to like it. I went in with some fresh pepper. You can also use dry pepper if that is what you have readily available. Now sugar is my secret ingredients guys. Just add it to your samosa filling next time and come back and comment here, you're going to like it. So just know that you can also make your samosa filling a day or 2 days, and then please store properly in the freezer because it gets bad on time. I made this previously, and then the next day, the next day, that was when I rolled or wrapped it up. Please do not allow it to stay for long so that it will not spoil, or you can just freeze it like so, you know, you have constant light, and then you are good to go. Now just see exactly how this will be rolled. So just follow suit, follow the lead, just watch closely what I am doing in the video. This is exactly how you would do yours. When you have overripe plantains, what comes to your mind? To trash them, right? This is to enable the yeast get activated and then loosen the dough the more. Now my oil is on fire. You can see I added that small one just to check whether it's ready, and it's ready. Now you can see what I did. I have into that pink plate I have some water. I'm just going to dip my hand into it and then little at a time scoop my batter or scoop my dough into the fire for it to fry. Now from my own experience, I've noticed something. The first round doesn't usually come out so pretty round and puffy and all the rest, so you can just fry little for the first batch. For me, the second batch is always so kitty for me than the first batch. So I'm just going to fry this first batch. I'm just going to fry. Now you can see it's even sticking to my pot. So with the head of my fork, I'm just going to go in and then help this lift it up for it to float on the oil. Please, when you're frying something like MOSA, puff, buns, egg roll or thereabout, you need a lot of oil so this can help you deep fry. So that is exactly what I'm trying to do, and so it will float and then cook pretty well from the inside then to the outside. So this is going to just go over and over again until everything becomes pretty golden brown, and I'm so rest assured or sure that it has cooked from the inside, not just getting so brown on the outside but the inside is still raw. But one thing about puff is that it doesn't behave like buns or it doesn't behave like egg roll, because it's in a smaller mold or in a smaller size. It cooks pretty well from the inside first. So I'm going to allow this fry until it becomes golden brown on all the sides, and then with the head of my frying spoon I'm going to bring this out. So you can look at this one, the shapes look a bit distorted compared to my second attempt. So that is what I've noticed from my own side. So you may or may not notice this from your own side too, but all the rest. So I'm going in now for the second round or for the second fry. You can even see it's already floating by itself on top of the oil. You can see what I was trying to say then, right? So that is my own observation. Yours might be different. So whichever one that rocks your boat, please just feel free to go with it. So I'm just going to go in a little at a time until I exhaust all the batter. Then in between I'll keep on dipping my fingers in the water so that the butter or the mixture doesn't stick so much to my fingers, and then this will give me ease in molding this into my oil. You can see my daughter trying to stir back. So I'll continue doing this until I exhaust everything, and then I am good to go. So I would also like you to try this out and also send in your reports either here, or you can send on WhatsApp, or you can send on IG, Facebook, or any other social media handle of mine. So I'm just going to allow this to just fry pretty well to the end as I keep on stirring around to ensure that it is golden brown on all the sides and it cooks pretty well from the inside to the outside. So after which I'll just stir around. I'm just trying to make sure I exhaust all the batter without wasting any one, but it's all good. And I'll just go ahead with my fork to just turn this. You know, as life no agree balance, there are some parts that will still not agree to turn or get golden brown evenly. So I'll just do this little at a time until everything becomes golden brown, and then I would go in with my frying spoon to bring everything out. Now you can see the difference in the shape, right? This one is really puffy and this one is really round. You can see what I was trying to say compared to the first distorted shape, but all the same, everything was consumed within a twinkle of an eye, because my children away, they don't grieve for anybody, but it's all good. So thank you so much for always connecting and watching. Let's make for 4 sparkling people. So you need flour, you need yeast, some sugar, nutmeg, cinnamon, and salt. Like if you have any recipe that calls for cinnamon and nutmeg, always buy the stick and the seed. Now into the bowl that contains the flour, you are going to add all your dry ingredients: the sugar, the nutmeg, the salt, and the cinnamon powder. Then you're going to carefully combine this together and then add water. So you add your water and then combine this. Please do not over add water so that you won't have a runny dough. So you just take your time and mix this together so that it properly combines, and then you are good to go. You're going to mix this very well, and then it will be left for a while to rise. So just take your time, just continue walk in your dough, mix your dough exactly how you can see me do in the video. Beat it very well, but please do not overbeat. Just do this, and then you're going to set this aside, and then to enable the yeast activate and enable your dough double in size. So I'm just going to still give it a quick mix, just like I am doing here, until you have a consistency that looks exactly like this. Now you're going to use a plate to cover the bowl. If you have a cling film or an aluminium foil, you can also just cover the bowl and set aside. Then in some days when I just want to rush, what I have to do to activate the yeast very fast is I'm going to boil some hot water and pour into a plate, and then sit my bowl over it. The steam from the hot water will help activate the yeast very fast. So I left this for about 30 to 35 minutes before I fry. So the yeast from the steam is going to be the steam will help you activate this, please guys. So now after 35 minutes I came back, and this is what the dough looks like. You can see it has doubled in size. Please do not allow this to stay for long, if not your batter will be runny. So I'm just going to carefully deflate this again before I take it to the kitchen to fry. Now after deflating this, you have this. Now emphasis on deep frying, please. If you don't have enough oil, you can just use a smaller pot to pour oil so that it will come up, and then you can be able to deep fry. There are different ways you can scoop. This is what I do. I just dip my hand in water, and then I try to pinch it in little at a time. This is my own method, so you can feel free to do your own method, but this is exactly what I do, and it has worked for me. So I'm just going to scoop this little at a time until I exhaust the batter, and then the other side, you just have to kind of scoop more butter in your hands, just this way, and then carefully mold it. I'm not really a good fan of this other scooping batter method, but if you can do it, you can also do it. So this is exactly how I do but I prefer the first method any day, anytime. I think that is because that's what I started with, and so good with it, or I'm used to it. So just feel free to do you. So this is what you will continue to do until you exhaust all the batter that you have. So at this point, I think my pot has enough that it can take at a time. I won't be adding more. So with the end of my fork, I'm just going to flip it around so that it will be able to cook or fry on both sides. But as life no balance, some did not agree to turn around. So just being so tough there. So I used my frying spoon just to make sure I move it around so that everything fries pretty well until we have the beautiful golden brown coloration. But you see, it no green turn, as life no green, just balance. So at this point, I'm good with it. I'm just going to carefully scoop this out. So I'm just going to carefully turn this again, and then bring everything out from the fire. So you repeat the process again until you exhaust your batter, and then you are good to go. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed. If you have not subscribed, please do that. So the next video I'll be dropping is how you can easily make a little box, just in case you want to sell only this. I would show us how you can also make a box.